If you are a startup, first and foremost, it's kind of risky. But if you've decided to do a startup, especially in the beverage industry where there are beverage giants sitting over there, you have to particularly first focus on your product. Your product has to speak for itself. If you have a great, strong product in your hand, digital is something, yeah, you need to focus on, but you can't rely totally on. But I don't think if your product has got no value behind your digital creation, whatever you have burnt money in it, had our vision clear as to where we want the brand to go. When we entered the market, we didn't know who, what, where, which channel we are going to use. We just entered because we had a great product. When people come to me and say your tea is very good, I feel like, yeah, okay, we've done something right.
Hi, Sangeeta. Welcome back to our next episode. Sangeeta, in this episode, I really want to understand if today I were to decide to get into the beverages market, what I need to do to ensure that I do not fail as a startup. For a brand like yours, to thrive in the beverages market, what channels of sale are the most important, do you think?
Well, I would say, see, if you are a startup, first and foremost, it's kind of risky. But if you've decided to do a startup, especially in the beverage industry where there are beverage giants sitting over there, you have to particularly first focus on your product. Your product has to speak for itself. Second comes your packaging. Your packaging is your first salesperson. You don't need any salesperson if your packaging is quite out there. And get all your licenses, all your FSSAI license. Don't mess with any of the licenses because that's what's going to keep you going. And apart from that, I guess if you have a great, strong product in your hand, I think that is going to take you a long way ahead.
Any company in any industry, as soon as they come in, the first thing they do is start putting in money in digital ads, right? Is that the strategy which you also adopted, or how did you acquire your first 100 customers?
See, digital today, everything is about digital.
But that's a very competitive space.
It is. But see, when you talk about digital, even if you don't have a great product, it can become a super hit if your digital is quite strong. But in my opinion, digital is something, yeah, you need to focus on, but you can't rely totally on. Because at the end of the day, you are not sure whether you're going to get your repeat customer from your digital content. It's going to look fancy, your page is going to look fancy, no doubt about it. But that's the hype about. But I don't think if your product has got no value behind your digital creation, whatever you have burnt money in it, it's just like it's going down the drain. So I would tell the people over there that focus, of course, it is a need of the hour. Your digital content has to be up to the mark. It has to appeal to people. Only then they're going to look into your brand. But focus more on the brand. It's going to be seen, but focus more on the quality of the brand, I would say. Definitely digital, you need to have digital presence. And especially in FMCG, it is going to take a little time. But yeah, if you have there and if you have made a noise in the market with your digital presence, I think you can fairly do well in that space also.
What is the channel that has given you the most loyal customers till today?
Honestly, Rashmi, for us, we are there in all spaces. We've generally believed our strategy has been to be a a channel, not just focusing on online or offline. And when it comes to my brand, I would say sampling, tasting, getting the feedback, delivering, all that has made the brand, its presence very, very valuable. Because when you're there out in the market, when you make people taste, they're going to like it for sure. But if you don't make them taste and you cannot collect their feedback, then I don't think you've made a noise in the market. So, what has helped my brand is definitely the sampling bit of it, where we are ready to. There are places where we just put up stalls just like that and, make people taste. So, every sip that people take is like a customer added. So, I think that is what we have adopted as a brand, and that has been our strategy right from the very beginning.
As an entrepreneur yourself and observing other people, what according to you is the most common mistakes as a most common trend of mistakes you observe people making, and you might have also made it? What would that be?
So initially, we thought that we will be able to handle everything by ourselves. I think that was the most common mistakes that I've also made. My brand is also made, and most people tend to make it. Of course, see, it's like when you're talking about huge money, you try and save every single bit of it. But I think if you are capable to, so the biggest mistake that we did was not, our distribution channel was not set. We were trying to be there and do it by ourselves. So I think we underestimated that bit of it, considering when there are big giants sitting like Nestle, CCL, and Unilever. So if you are specifically entering the beverage space, you are going to be competing with one big brand or the other. So basically, being in the market, looking at what they have done, what their means of advertisements are, their marketing, I think you need to have some very good, salespeople. It also depends majorly on your sales team. You have to have a very strong sales team in order to, make it like you need a good research team. So I feel that every entrepreneur in
Do
the
you have
beginning,
all this in house?
yeah, we do. We are trying to build a brand, Rashmi. So we are trying to build a good sales team. So when I specifically say sales team, is what happens is entrepreneurs when they're starting out, they go by themselves. They do everything by themselves. Of course, that's the constraint that most entrepreneurs have. But there are people out there who are ready to help. You just need to have an eye for it. You just need to be there out in the market to see who's available, who's ready to bring your brand, who's passionate. As much as you are, there are more passionate people about that particular beverage. So I feel there's no harm in getting those kind of people on board, and see how they can add value to your brand. So yeah, the most common mistake would be that not not getting the right kind of people. And as you know, the biggest challenge is manpower. To get the right kind of manpower is quite challenging. So you need to be there up to get that particular manpower right for you. Yeah.
You just mentioned about going head to head or going loggerheads with the tycoons in the industry. What was your biggest learning, taking up this challenge of going and making a stand in an industry which is already, what do you say,
Clutter.
occupied? I wouldn't say cluttered, but which people have a hold on, large players who've been here for decades and who have established themselves till the roots, they've set their roots everywhere. What was your learning?
So yeah, it's been a very bold move from our end, Rashmi. But yeah, now since we've been in that, I would say yeah, we're not. See, it all again depends on your major market is consumed by these brands. But these 2 years of business that I have done, I have just realized that people, of course, know that that brand, I mean, they have no other option. I would say, I would put it that way, that when people want to drink coffee, brew has been marketed that well that they only take brew. There's no other option for them, or any other big brand for that, for that matter. So we took a bold step as to, we have been in this industry for past 40 years. Hence, the confidence was there with us, saying that we could compete with these big brands. And hence, we took the bold step ahead. We went, tried to create a brand, tried to be present everywhere. And we've always believed that our growth definitely is going to be organic. It's going to be slow. We are trying to get as much as, positive feedbacks as possible. in the journey, I have just, felt that definitely people think that, okay, that person is there, that big giant is sitting there, and hence I have no chance. But I wouldn't put it that way. You definitely do have a chance if you have a great product in hand. So, yeah, there's nothing like big giants. You could become a big giant too if you go the right channel and there are right people backing you. I think you could become the next big giant.
Whenever I've spoken to you about Drama Lama, the one thing that you constantly told me is about your star product, which is chicory. Tell me a little bit about that. I really want to hear more.
Okay, there's lots to talk about chicory. First of all, let me tell you, chicory is nothing but it's a root which is crushed and roasted just like coffee and added to coffee. And people have been consuming it for like centuries together. But in South India particularly, the notion is that it's an adulterant. But let me tell you, it's not an adulterant. It is an additive. There are a lot of secrets which were kept, trade secrets, call it trade secrets or whatever, because chicory was like, it reduces the price of coffee beans quite drastically. So it was added. So chicory has been consumed in the European countries, in South America, as a health drink. So today we are trying to position chicory powder as a standalone product. You don't need to add it in coffee. You can consume it just like that, like coffee.
And it tastes so amazing.
Yeah, it does
It
taste
tastes like
amazing.
filter coffee.
Yes, 100% it tastes. See, if you are expecting it to taste like coffee, definitely it's not going to taste like coffee, but yeah, it's going to get you there. And if you are a health conscious person, if you don't want caffeine in your system, if you're looking for a decaf option, I think then chicory powder has got fantastic health benefits. Just to name a few, we have got strong testimonials about people who have consumed chicory powder, especially Drama Lama, and they felt relief in their osteoarthritis pain. They found, the acidity has been reduced, reflux has been cured. So it boosts your metabolism, aids in weight loss. So these are some of the advantages of chicory powder. So I would very strongly tell people who have a notion saying that chicory is an adulterant. First and foremost, I would tell them to do a little bit of research about chicory. It has got a fiber which is called inulin, which is very, very good for your gut. It's a prebiotic drink. So a root cannot be harmful in any which way. So I think people need to try this product, have it, consume it for at least like 2-3 months, and then see what change it's going to give them. Definitely.
Okay, so today, right now, sitting here, if we are going to like give it this roadmap to people listening on how to get into the beverages industry and create a space for yourself, create a market for your product, what would be the step by step process that a person should do?
Yeah, certainly. So basically, see, first step is get a great product. Do not compromise on the product. It has to be. So when I started Drama Lama, people were like telling me, what different do you have in your product? Well, I didn't have anything different then. It was all I had was just the taste and the price. Of course, we are working with very competent prices. Uh, that was all what we had in our hands, a great product. So that is what kept us strong. So first step would be work on your product, work on your packaging. It need not have to be a very niche. It also, you need to figure out which segment you're targeting. So particularly our segment is like, see, coffee is it's like a daily routine. It's like something it's like a ritual which you consume every day, which you have every day. So you don't need your, bottle to look very fancy to have that coffee. It's just the taste. So again, I would say have a great product. And of course, you need to. So yeah, Rashmi, nowadays I get asked quite a lot that, why aren't you still there in quick commerce? So see, quick commerce is the quickest way to burn money, according to me. Yes, you have to be there because that's the space where you're going to get relevant. We haven't had that kind of a volume still, so hence we are not there. But yeah, your e-commerce, make it strong, make your digital presence quite, strong. Be seen everywhere, be heard everywhere. You've got to be The first couple of years, you're going to be doing a lot of hard work. Be here the slightest place where you can make your product taste sample, small sachets. I think all these help your brand. The most important point is you need to have a clear vision as to where you want yourself to be and how you're going to get there. And in that journey, what all, where all, like now you're sitting in front of me, I could just give you like a cup of, a sample and you can sample it. So I think all these are small things, small steps, which I think every person should take, especially in this food industry. Only when people taste your product will come back for your product. So I think, yeah, that is what I have. That's my take on this.
If you had the chance to go back in time, what would you do or what would you not do? What would you do differently to reach this place today?
Okay, so I would not do anything differently because, yeah, everything has been a learning medium for us right from the very beginning. But there was one thing which I felt would have made a difference is if we would have had our vision clear as to where we want the brand to go. See, since it's in a very cluttered market and it's in a it's in a space where when we entered the market, we didn't know who, what, where, which channel we are going to use. We just entered because we had a great product. So when people come to me and say your tea is very good, I felt okay. I feel like, yeah, okay, we've done something right. We've brought across a great product to the consumer. So I feel that, I wouldn't have done anything different in that term, but yeah, I would have prepared myself. I would have made my vision clear. If we would have had a clear vision, I think that would have made all the difference for us.
What's the future for Rama Lama look like? Are you looking to get acquired? Are you looking to go IPO? Are you looking to how many markets you want to enter?
Yeah, so it's too soon to say, Rashmi, but yeah, nonetheless, I think my vision is very clear. I want to see Drama Lama, the household beverage. Today, we are positioning ourselves next to, on the racks of every supermarket. You would see Drama Lama positioned. I want to be the next household drink. I want to see Drama Lama, be it tea, coffee, chicory, filter coffee, any product. I just wanted to reach every home. I want to reach within the next 5 years. I think that's a big journey. That's like something which I'm dreaming very big. But yes, South India, we would like to capture the whole of South India. And yeah, but step by step. It's not going to be like something which we are going to go very quick on. But yeah, we're going to take it very slow and very organic.
Thanks, Sangeeta. It was very insightful, this conversation. And I wish you all the luck in the world. And I really hope to see you see Drama Lama in every household like you envision it to be. All the best.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rashmi. Thank you.
Thank you.